uh, Cyber 101. Fuck. Alright, so we have Linux. Alright, so we have Linux fundamentals. There's three parts to this. Obviously this is part one. I'll make three different videos separately just so it's more easier to see. And this is the cybersecurity 101 path. And obviously they have videos on YouTube if you want to watch them instead. Alright. Welcome, first part of Linux Fundamentals Room Series. You'll most likely be using Windows or Mac machines. Both are different visual designs and how they operate, just like Windows, iOS, Mac. We'll be covering some history behind Linux and then eventually starting your journey being a Linux wizard. This room will have you running your very first commands interaction Linux machine in your browser. Teaching you some essential commands. Use this to interact with the file system. Demonstrate how you search for files. Introduce shell operators, right? Bit of background. Where is Linux used? Is fair to say. Website that you visit. Car entertainment, control panels, POS, point of sale systems such as checkout, till, and registers in shops. Critical infrastructure such as traffic light controllers or industry sensors. The name Linux is actually an umbrella term for multiple OS that are based in Unix on an operating system. Thanks to Linux being open source, variants of Linux come in all shapes and sizes, suited best for the system being used. For example, Ubuntu, Debian, I'm not sure. Some more commonplace distributions of Linux because it's so extendable. That is, you can run Ubuntu as a server, such as website, web applications, or fully fledged desktop. For the series, we're going to be using Ubuntu. Note, Ubuntu servers can run a system with only 51 megabytes of RAM, similar to how you have different versions of Windows 7, 8, and there are many different versions. Research. What year was the first release of Linux operating system? Obviously, you would research this. I've already done it. I'm not going to do it again. 1991, right? This is actually the first video with the virtual machines. TryHackMe has very good virtual machines. Takes a while to load up, but they're good machines, right? Contains. So if you're new to this, pretty much it's going to give you an IP address. There's time that the machine expires. You can extend it easily by clicking 1 hour. Terminate, right? It's just pretty much telling you how the machine works. I will read this while we wait for it to load up. It will want us to run the commands in there. As we previously discussed, a large selling point of using OS such as Ubuntu is how lightweight they can be. What is this? Hang on. Do I need... This is weird. Never mind. This isn't actually one of the virtual machines. I mean, it is, but it's not like the normal one. This, of course, does not come without its disadvantages where, for example, often there's no GUI graphic user interface or what is also known as desktop environment. That's what we can use to interact with the machine unless it has been installed. A large part of interacting with these systems is using the terminal, right? So this is going to be the terminal over here. Terminal is purely text-based and intimidating at first. However, we break down some commands. Some time to become familiar with using the terminal. You can enter the commands here, and this will be Linux, not Windows or anything else. We need to be able to do basic functions like navigate to files, output their contents, make file, do stuff self-explanatory once you know there. Let's get started. Two of the first commands I've broken down in the table. Command echo, who am I? Echo is going to output any text that we provide, and who am I is going to find out the user. You always really want to start out with who am I, right? We're on TryHackMe user, right? And let's just try echo. Okay. Who am I? Echo. Wait. Whatever. Oh, I have to do it first. Rookie mistake, right? Go. I see, and it's gonna do repeat who am I. I just messed up and put it after. Yeah, I forget. As shown in the terminal above, if we want. Alright, so like I just said, whatever you put here, make sure you do echo first. It's gonna repeat what it says. Who am I can be used to find the username we are logged in as. Try on your. If you want to output the text try hack me, what would our command be? Echo try hack me was the username. We already found the username, which was try hack me over here. Interacting with file systems. Girl, what is it doing? So far, we have only colored echo and who am I. Not all that useful when you consider things we need to do, including navigating the file system, read and write to it as well. In this task, we're going to be learning the commands so that we can do just that. Just like the previous task, I'll display the commands in the table in the next heading and showing examples of commands being used, interacting with the file system. So here are just some commands: ls, cd, cat, and cat is going to open files. So we'll start off with ls. See the directories. Here's a log, access log, then we have folders, right? So we can do cat access dot log, right? And so we just did cat and we did the access log that was there, and all this information's in there. Yeah. PWD perm working directory, and CD is going to be changed directory. So if we do CD, now we do CD when we do ls. You want to do CD dot. Wait, no, is this CD dot? I don't know. Never mind. Forget it. Just worry about these commands for now. Before we can do anything such as finding out constants of any files or folder, we need to know what exists in the first place. This can be done using ls, like I just did. Did ls. In the screenshot above, we can see there are the following directories here. So that's in the screenshot, but not here. Oh no, we can do cd folder 1. Okay, so yeah, we just did change directory in folder 1, so now we're in folder 1, and then we can do ls again to see what's actually in here. And I don't think there's anything in here, honestly. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there. Great, now you can probably take a guess what to expect a folder to contain, giving by its name. Pro tip, you can list the contents of a directory without having to navigate it by using ls and name of the directory. So ls pictures. Yeah, so oh yeah, do change directory dot. Wait, is it? No, it's cd dot. Bro, am I insane? Bro, I'm trying to navigate the directory. Fuck. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Alright, now that we know folders exist, we need to use the cd command, short for change directory, to change directory. Say if I wanted to open pictures directory. Alright, let's get into pictures real quick. It didn't pop up, but bro, how did Alright, never mind. I just did cd and we're back to original. So we were in folder 1, but now I'm back to the original. Do ls. Bro, and you can see there is no pictures, so I'm not sure where the pictures is located. But we can do ls pictures just to see. I doubt anything will happen, because yeah, there's clearly no pictures there. I think this is just examples they're giving us. Now that we know the folder exists, we use cd change directory. To change directory, say if I want to open the pictures directory, I would do cd pictures, where again we want to find out the contents pictures directory, so we do ls again, right? So then you would see what is in pictures, and all these are in pictures. And then now you do cat, and then whichever one you're trying to look into. While us knowing about the existence of files is great, it's not all that useful unless we're able to view the contents of them. We will come on to discuss some of the tools available to us that allow us to transfer files from one machine to another in a later room. But for now, we're going to talk about simply see text file using command cat. Alright, cat is short for concatenating and is syntax way for output the contents file. So they did ls. There's tota text here, and then they did cat to see what's in tota text, and they found it, right? We applied some knowledge from earlier in this task, do the following. Use ls to files, document machine. This is called to review code, right? Pro tip, you can use cat to output the content of a file with directories without having to navigate to it by using cat and the name of the directory. So here they did cat, the directory where it is, then deeper in documents, and then the file, right? So if you just do all this, you skip like all the, those steps, and you get straight to it. But this is if you would have all this information and know exactly where you're trying to look, right? Sometimes things like username, passwords, yes, really flags, or configuration settings are stored within files where cat can be used to retrieve these. Finding out the full path to our current working directory, pwd, you'll notice as progress through navigating the Linux machine, the name of the directory that you are currently working will be listed in your terminal. It's easy to lose track of where on the files system exactly, which is why I want to introduce pwd. This stands for current working directory. Using the example machine from before, we're currently in the documents folder, but where this exactly on the Linux machine is the file system, we can find out using the pwd command, like within the screenshot below. Pwd. Okay. If we try pwd right now we're just in home/tryhackme, right? And then if we were to go, say I went into folder 2, now this would be home/tryhackme/folder 2, and then, right, too easy. We already know I've used current working, just some stuff. On the Linux machine you deploy, how many folders are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, of course. Which directory contains a file? So all we have to do is do change directory. We already checked folder 1, there's nothing in there, right? So we'll check folder 2, nothing in there. cd folder 3. Oh, that's, fuck me. We'll just do cd, get it back where we are. Alright, folder, oh my god. See, that's why I didn't go too fast and mess up. Folder 3, nothing in there. And then go back to home, and then we'll do gotta do cd folder 4. Oh, I forgot to do ls, so maybe there was something in the other ones, but clearly not. There's only in 4. I forgot to do ls when going to the different folders. That's on me, but just know that there wasn't any in there. Which directory contains a file, folder 4? What contents in the file? So no, and we can do cat. And a quick tip, like since there's only one file in here, we can just type in, and if we click tab, it's gonna autofill because there's nothing else, and you can autofill. So just a quick tip to save some time, and it's hello world, and then boom, use cd command to navigate to this file and find the new current. What is the path? So now we just do pwd, and the path is home track me folder 4, right? And now we're here. It's the answer. Searching. Can we close this? We can close it, but it's not closed, but we're just exiting split screen. Did we already do this? Alright, we already did this. Let's go. Although it doesn't seem like it so far, one of the redeeming features of Linux is truly how efficient you can be with it. With that said, you can only be as efficient as you are familiar with the course. As you interact with OS such as Ubuntu over time, essential commands, those we already covered, will start becoming muscle memory. One fantastic way to show how efficient you can be with system, using a set of commands to quickly search for file across the entire system that our user has access to. No need to constantly use cdls find where. Instead, we can use commands such as find to automate things like this for us. This is where Linux starts to become a bit more intimidating approach, but we'll break it down and ease you into it. The find command is fantastic in the sense that it can be used both very simply or rather complex depending upon what it is you want to do exactly. However, let's stick to the fundamentals first. Take a snippet below. We can see a list of directories available to us. Boom. These are available. Now, of course, directories can contain even more directories within themselves. It becomes a headache when you have look through every single one and try and look for specific files. We can use the find justice for us. Let's start simple. Uh, we're looking for password.txt. If we remember the file name, we can simply use find name password, where the command will look through every folder in our current directory that has specific file. Okay, so the find command. Oh, when it says name though. Okay, so find uh, dash name. I think there's a different word. I and then password.txt, and now it locates this dot folder one passwords dot text. Find has managed to find the file. It turns out it located in folder one. Sweet, but let's say that we don't know the name of the file or want to search for every file that has an extension such as .txt. Fine, let's do that. We can simply use one known as a wildcard. So the star to search for anything that has a text at the end. In our case, we want to find every text file that's in our current directory. We will construct a command such as find. It's tac. This dash is called tac. That's it. Find tac name star.txt, and this is gonna give you everything that ends in text and the directory, right? Well, different directories. Of course, if it's not locked. Find has managed to find. Boom, that wasn't so tough, huh? Yeah, whatever. Another great utility that is great one to learn about is the use of grep. The grep command allows us to search for the content of file for specific values that we're looking for. Take an example, the access log of a web server. In this case, the access log of the web server has 244 entries. I'm using WC to count the numbers of entries in the access log. WC tac L access log 244 access. Right. So using command like cat isn't going to cut it too well here. Let's say, for example, we want to search this log file to see the things that certain users' IP address visited. Looking through 244 entries isn't all efficient, considering we want to find a specific value. You can use grep to search for the entire contents of this file. For entries of that value we're searching for, going with the example web server's access log, we want to see everything that the IP address has visited. Note this is fictional, right? So we do grep, the IP address, access log. So we can see the IP, the date, a get command. Grep has searched through this file and has shown us an entry that we provided and is contained within the log file for the IP. Using the grep, I have to load up back the room. Show split screen, just be right up there. I was doing the right command. I legit was doing the right command, which was grep THM, but I was doing it lowercase and it needed to be caps. Bro, rookie mistake, right? That's why everything is so precise in cyber. And boom, you see it, get THM access, which is the flag right there. Like, bro, you get stressed out, but you just need to calm down because, bro, it's a simple mistake. Like, sometimes you're doing something right and it's just little mistakes, maybe a typo, just something. And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Introduction to cell operators. Linux operators are a fantastic way to power up your knowledge working with Linux. There are a few important operators that are worth noting. We'll cover the basics and break them down according to bite-sized chunks. At an overview, I'm going to be showcasing the following operators. This operator allows you to run commands in the background of your terminal. This operator allows you to combine multiple commands together in one line terminal. So operator redirects, meaning we can take the output from a command, such as using cat output file and direct it elsewhere. The operator is the same function operator but appends the output rather than placing, meaning nothing overridden. Let's cover these a bit more. So operator allows us to execute commands in the background. For example, let's say we want to copy a large file. This will obviously take quite a long time. We'll leave us unable to do anything else until file copies. The and shell operators allow us to execute commands and have it run in the background, such as file copy, allowing us to do other things. The double and shell operator is a bit misleading in the sense of how familiar it is to partner and unlike and operator. We can use double and to make a list of commands. For run example, command 1 double and command 2 operators were known. Command 2 only run if command 1 was successful. This operator was known as an output redirector. What this essentially means, we take the output from command, we run, send the output somewhere else. Great example is redirecting the output of the echo command that we learned in task 4. Of course, running something such as echo howdy will return howdy back to our terminal. That's not that useful, but instead we can redirect howdy to something such a new file. Let's say we want to create a file named welcome with the message hey. We can run echo hey welcome, echo hey welcome, then we do cat welcome. Okay, so this command created welcome and created the text in welcome, and now you do that, and then you just do cat and get it. The double and this operator is also an output redirector like in the previous operator we discussed. However, what makes this operator different is that rather than overwriting any content within a file, for example, instead just put the outputs at the end. Following on with our previous example where we have the file welcome that has the constants of hey, if we were to use echo to add hello to the file using operator, the file now only have hello and not hey. Wait. Following on with our previous example where we have the file welcome that has the constants of hey, if we were to use echo to add hello to using the file operator, the file will now only have hello and not hey. Okay, if you use this, it can replace it, but this operator allows us to append the output at the bottom file rather than replacing. So if you just do this, it's going to replace. If you do this, it just adds on. So double hello, hey, and hello in different lines. If we wanted to run a command in the background, and if we wanted to replace the constants of a file named passwords, if we wanted to replace file named passwords with the word password 123, what would the command? It'd be, without looking, it would be echo. Bro, you get brain fried, I swear. Echo password 123, the arrow passwords, right? Get brain fried, I swear. Now if you want to add try hack me, you're gonna do the same thing. Well, not same thing. Echo try hack me double arrow passwords. Now I use deploy to put these into practice. I guess give y'all an example, whatever. First, let's take a look at what we have. Now we can do echo, and then say Bob, whatever. And then Todd. Alright, now we do ls again, and now you see we have Todd, and if we do cat Todd, we're gonna have Bob in there. Too easy. Girl, you what is a dream? Conclusion summaries. Nice work on getting to this stage. We covered quite a bit for the first interaction with Linux. However, these are the most essential functions we're going to be used whenever you interact with the Linux. Hope this room hasn't been too daunting for you to power through with. As previously mentioned, you're going to become familiar with these things very quickly because of how often you're going to be using them. To quickly recap, we covered the following: understanding why Linux is so commonplace, interacting with the first ever Linux machine, ran some most fundamental. Oh, I guess this was the first ever Linux machine. I don't know. Power up your commands, whatever. Right? I'll play around. I now pretty much leave. So this will be part 2. I will make a different video on this. I think I'm gonna do a different room, like personally by myself. So I'll get the part 2 and part 3 tomorrow. Hope y'all enjoyed. This is Linux Fundamentals Part 1.